All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. It is time to go racing from Imola. Up front will be Giancarlo and Nick Sorensen. McCready and Flanagan have the second row. Adam Barker and Harry Volsmere on the third. Simon Zierk, Mike Dolling on the fourth row. Rudolph Gunther, Ronnie Wimberly on the fifth row. Nicole Kriesel rounding out the field here at Imola. No surprise seeing Giancarlo on the front row. Expect to see him most of this season. He is trying to run for a third championship, as well as Adam Barker. Pace car is rolling. A lot of corners here will get a bit tricky, especially corner entry. Everybody has to be aware of each other's braking points. That did cause some interesting moments in practice as different drivers tried to find the best braking points into the turn. Other ones could go a little deeper, and incidents tend to happen. Porsche pace car is on pit road. Here we go. Giancarlo in control. He fires there away. Green flag is in the air. Side by side, no big movers as of yet. Nobody tried to shoot the gap on the start this morning. Giancarlo Sorensen and Nick Sorensen pulling away. McCready in third. The two McLarens nose to tail, third and fourth. Newcomer David Flanagan currently running in fifth. Adam Barker in sixth. Keep an eye on Simon Zierk as he begins to work his way through the field here. Rudolph Gunther, the races he made the end of last season, has gotten faster and faster. Watch that Porsche liable to be coming up as he looks down to the inside on Ronnie Wimberly. McCready starting to pull away just a little bit from fellow McLaren driver Harry Volsmere, trying to reel in the leaders, Nick Sorensen and Giancarlo. Nick Sorensen, another driver who was fast last week, but bad luck kept him out of the top 10, or kept him out of contention, rather. Ended up sixth in points after week one. McCready sits in third, Harry Volsmere in fourth. Something about the McLaren here seems to have a bit of an advantage. That lighter car, despite the lower power, that lighter car through these tighter sections really seems to pay off. Good morning, Thanos. Hope you have power back, buddy. Mike Dolling already starting to make a move toward the front. Started in 8th, already up to 6th, trying to reel in newcomer David Flanagan in 5th. Flanagan was in the top 3 throughout practice. Rudolph Gunther managing to get by Ronnie Wimberly. It looked like Ronnie had some problems a moment ago, but has gathered the car up. Nicole Kriesel running back in 11th. Looks like McCready is starting to reel in the Audi, driven by Nick Sorensen. Hey, good morning, JR. Have you had any sleep, buddy? McCready gets a little sideways off the turn there. Giancarlo just set the fastest lap there. Oh no, Giancarlo's starting to blink a little. JR, I feel you, buddy. I have been there. Nick Sorensen may be under attack here in a moment as McCready continuing to close the gap. David Flanagan, meanwhile, is catching up to the back bumper of Harry Volsmir. Nicole Kriesel has had a problem. Looks like Nicole just misses her braking point, gets off track. Manages to keep it out of the wall, but she lost a lot of ground there. Mike Dolling, who's been on the move since the drop of the green, up 2 spots, now up into 6, trying to reel in David Flanagan. Harry Volsmir also up 2 spots, but losing ground with the top 3. Giancarlo out front set the fastest lap. Last time by, however, unable to pull much of a gap on Nick Sorensen this morning. Sorensen definitely one to watch. Has been close to a championship multiple times in this league. Hopefully Giancarlo's blinking will not affect the race here. Volsmir in 4th, about to have Flanagan right up the tailpipe. Ferrari seems to be handling about as well as the McLarens here this morning. Meanwhile, the Lambo out front pulls a gap in some parts of this track, but the Audi just pulls right back up to him. Thus far, Giancarlo has not been able to get more than a 1-second gap, and very quickly, Sorensen closes that gap. McCready in 3rd, meanwhile keeping them in his sights, just about 1.2 seconds behind. He has pulled a 1.7 second gap on Harry Volsmir. The newcomer David Flanagan currently runs in 5th, right on Volsmir's back bumper. Rudolf Gunther has had a problem back behind. Rudolph was starting to make up some ground. Just goes a bit wide, loses the back end. But did he keep it? Looks like he might have just kissed the wall. Mike Dolling is starting to close in on the top 5. Just over 2 seconds behind David Flanagan. Flanagan all over the bumper of Harry Volsmir here. Ferrari has just a bit of a power advantage over the McLaren here, but this track may not give him the opportunity to fully utilize that. Harry Volsmere, in the meantime, able to hold off David Flanagan thus far. But while they're battling, Mike Doling continues to reel him in, and he's bringing Simon Zierk with him. Simon doing what we very much consistently expected, just driving consistent laps, not making mistakes, and forcing the other drivers around him to make mistakes he can take advantage of. Adam Barker has gone off track hard into the outside wall. Adam goes too wide, clips the sand, almost saves it, but hard into the outside wall. Bounces off hard on the brakes, but still gets the inside wall as well. See if we can get a close look at the front end of Adam's car here as he has drifted back into 9th place. Has Ronnie Wimberly just ahead. Does have some damage, but primarily to the left front of that car. Will we see Adam on pit road this time for repairs, or is the car handling well enough to keep him on track? He looks to the inside on Ronnie, can't get there. Giancarlo still out front, 1.1 seconds over Nick Sorensen. Sorensen, however, continues to reel him in, not letting him get far ahead. McCready has lost ground to the top two, now 2.9 seconds behind, but has pulled away from this battle for 4th between Harry Volsmere and David Flanagan. However, while they have battled, Mike Doling and Simon Zierk have closed the gap. Things are about to get interesting from 4th on back. Ronnie Wimberly has crashed. Ronnie trying to defend. Oh, he gets into the turtles. Goes wide through the sand, manages to recover and keep it off the wall, but loses position to Adam Barker. Adam now back up in 8th place, but 9.5 seconds behind Simon Zierk in 7th. Giancarlo continuing to lead here. JR, while you're there, Nicole, that's what she said. Creasel will also be there working in one of the sky boxes. That is awesome, by the way, and I am jealous. Harry Volsmere has had a problem back behind. Harry was trying to hold on to that position, gets loose out of the turn. Did he have any help on that? I don't believe he did. Let's take a look from... Looks like the blimp may have been too high on that one. Let's see if the chopper caught a shot of it. It looks like there might have been light contact between the two drivers. Ronnie Wimberly is on pit road for repairs. Something happened. Looks like we missed it. Let's see what happened with Ronnie Wimberly. That car heavily damaged. Oh, just gets a little loose through there. Couldn't get it wound up in a hard lick into the outside wall. JR, I will put you two in touch later today, buddy. Simon Zierk has now moved his way up into fourth, picking up 2 spots in a single lap. Let's see how he did it. Oh, everybody checks up for the lap car. Nicole Kriesel. Simon sees the gap. He shoots the gap and goes up 2 spots. Great move by Simon Zierk. An uncharacteristic move by Simon for him to shoot a gap like that, but an awesome, awesome job. And now David Flanagan is challenging for fourth. He looked to the outside there for a moment on Zierk. The BMW does have a power advantage over the Ferrari. However, the Ferrari better handling on these tight turns. Flanagan trying to use the slipstream, gain some momentum into the turns. Can he make something happen? And with Mike Dolling lurking right behind. McCready now 5.7 seconds behind the leaders in third place. And Giancarlo has started to open up a gap on Nick Sorensen. Now 1.5 seconds is the lead. That McLaren was extremely fast in practice, had the fastest lap in practice for a large portion of the practice session this morning. Currently sitting in third place, a great run by the Mullet. Simon Zierk's gutsy move, moving him up into fourth place. Hey, good morning, Mark Dantuma, cheering on Nicole. That's what she said. Kriesel currently runs in 10th place. Three and a half minutes left to go. Giancarlo has led every lap so far, but Sorensen has stayed in his tire tracks. McCready has held that third place since the drop of the green. The McLaren pulling a gap of 5.4 seconds. This battle for fourth, though, is far from over. Fourth, fifth, and sixth still sitting nose to tail. And while they have battled, Adam Barker has actually made up some ground. He is now 6.7 seconds behind. He is gaining, but likely will not, unless the three in front of him make a huge mistake, will not be able to catch up. I have to wonder why Mark Dantuma is not out here running with these guys this morning. Flanagan now looks for the move going into the first turn. Can he get the pass on Simon Zierk? He's got the inside position. He gets close. But David Flanagan pulls up into fourth. Simon Zierk already looking to come back around. Mike Dolling lurking back behind, waiting for an opportunity. He gets close. Now Dolling looks inside of Simon. Can't get there yet. Now Dolling looks to the inside on Simon Zierk. It's going to be a drag race between the two BMWs to the next corner. Rudolf Gunther has had a problem back behind. And Mike Dolling is now going to 5th. Let's see what happened with Rudolph back behind. The only member of Team Gunther in the race. And just as we have seen happen multiple times this morning, gets too deep into that section, hits the turtles, and goes off track. Mike Dolling now in 5th, Simon Zierk in 6th. Meanwhile, newcomer David Flanagan has gotten clear up into 4th. White flag is in the air for Giancarlo. Nick Sorensen sits in 2nd, McCready in 3rd. McCready not in the race last week, having to use drop races. Looking to have a good start to his season here. And a huge shout out to Mike Marshall and Conlift Solutions for sponsoring this awesome group and being so supportive of us. Big things are coming very soon thanks to Conlift Solutions. Giancarlo is a 1.8 second gap on Sorensen. Does Sorensen have anything left on the last lap? Flanagan has opened up a bit of a gap on Mike Dolling and Simon Zierk. Zierk still trying to get back by into the top 5. Trying to force the Minister of Defense, Mike Dolling, to make a mistake. And here they come. Giancarlo is going to pull off the win. Nick Sorensen comes home in 2nd, and McMullet is going to finish 3rd. The top 7 from this will invert going into race 2. Let's talk to our top 3, starting with McCready. Hey, Eric, it's Doug. You got me?
Hey, what's going on, Doug?
Hey, McMullet Power strikes again, man. Top 3 finish, and you had some speed out there.
Well, you know, I let these European guys see what freedom is.
That is awesome. That was a great run. I know you didn't make last week, but a great start to your season here. Do we see McMullet Power getting up here into the championship battle this season?
You know, that's really dependent on whether or not my 2-year-old is going to be cool, or if she's, you know, going to decide I don't get to race.
That's a 2-year-old. It's a coin toss every day.
It tends to land on she's going to be a dick, but.
I have to ask, now you're going to be starting a little bit further back in this second race. Obviously, you started from 3rd, finished 3rd. Are you going to be able to get through the field? How is the McLaren in traffic?
Well, I got Adam starting at P1, so I'll pass him pretty quick. Should be no problem.
Well, that is awesome, buddy. Good luck. I don't even know what to say to that. I'll just make sure to tell Adam that he might as well pull over on lap 1.
Yeah. Tell him that, you know, he should get some skill. Maybe start practicing.
Well, man, good luck. A great start to the morning.
All right, thanks, Doug.
McCready having a great lap this morning. Nick Sorensen came home in 2nd. Nick, it looked like there for a while you might have had something for Giancarlo.
Oh, I was giving it my best shot, yeah. I was hanging with him, but I could tell each little spot where he was quicker than me were the ones that I had a hard time not making a mistake. So that's why I ended up to be a little bit of a gap.
Well, I know there was a point where he would pull out to about 1 second in the first half of the track, but then you reel him back down in the second half of the track, especially after you get through that straightaway. Are you going to be able to keep him behind you in race 2?
I hope so. That's the goal. Maybe we get caught in traffic or something happens. But really, I just need a good result. Like, I don't have to go for the win here. Good results and consistency over the season will do me well.
It definitely has in the past, and it's looking like a great start to this one as well, man. Good luck and congratulations.
Yep, thanks, Doug.
And finally, our winner, you see him out on track. Giancarlo, another great win here this morning.
Thanks, Doug. It was Nick was keeping me honest the whole time. But yeah, was just able to get the laps together and keep it in the lead, keep it on track.
That it definitely seemed like a lot of folks had problems keeping it on track this morning. Obviously, the speed is important, but is that a major concern this second race now that you're starting back in 7th?
It is a very difficult track to pass at, and really the only opportunity is like down the main straight. And I'm kind of afraid that if I ever reach the rear bumper of Mike Dalling, he's just going to put the best defense I've ever seen on me, and I'm going to go absolutely nowhere.
The Minister of Defense is definitely very difficult to pass, and on these tracks it's difficult to pass anyway. That just makes it exponentially harder.
Yep, it's going to be fun. It's always an interesting time into turn 1 in the middle of the pack, so we'll navigate it cautiously and see how the race pans out.
Well, man, congratulations on the win. Good luck in race 2.
Thanks, Doug. Appreciate it.
Giancarlo got the win in race 1. Will now start from 7th place. Sorensen will start in 6th, McCready in 5th. The top 7 finishers from race 1 to a full invert going into race number 2. Nicole Kriesel out getting some extra practice in here. She had some problems early on in race 1, lost a lot of ground. Can she make it up in race 2? Adam Barker had a good run going until he lost the back end going coming out of one of the chicanes on the track. Can he hold it together and get back up into championship form this morning? And of course, Simon Zierka definitely had an awesome race going. A gutsy move up the middle, past the lap car. Are we starting to see Simon take that consistency and get more aggressive out here? If I were the other drivers, I'd be a bit worried about Simon if he decides to get more aggressive out there and give up a little bit of the consistency. Warm-up about to come to a close. We're about to go to race 2. If you've got a favorite driver, make sure you drop in the comments. Remind them you're cheering for him here this morning. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the moment we've been waiting for. It's time to go racing once again. Adam Barker and Simon Zierk will have the front row this time, with Mike Dalling and David Flanagan on the second row. McCready and Sorensen have the third row. Giancarlo and Harry have the fourth row. Rudolph Gunther, Nicole Kriesel, and Ronnie Wimberly rounding out the field. David Flanagan definitely put on a new show, a good show this morning. The rookie looking awfully fast out there. I say rookie, he has the second highest I rating of the field, so rookie in the league, but he definitely knows how to get the job done here. Or cheering on Max Verstappen. Boy, that'd be nice if he'd hop in one of these Sunday morning races. Adam Barker controls the start. Pace car on pit road. Adam is fired. They are away, and green flag is in the air. Little bit more aggressive start this time as McMullen is coming by Harry Volsmir. And still too wide back behind. Nick Sorensen almost going off track there. Giancarlo already picking up one spot, sight set on McMullen just ahead. Adam Barker, meanwhile, pulling away for the moment from Mike Dolling. Simon Zierk sits in third with Flanagan right behind him. McCready, Giancarlo, Harry Volsmir, and Nick Sorensen trying to reel them all in. Rudolph Gunther looked really, really fast in race one until he started having some issues. And as always, make sure you check out Quad Racing on Twitch and Facebook. Ronnie Wimberly, currently running in 10th, is an extremely impressive driver, considering he is doing it using a quad stick due to the fact that he is a quadriplegic. This gentleman is amazing. And if you get the chance to watch him race the Nürburgring, yeah, that is one of the most impressive sights you'll ever see. And likely you'll see him in victory lane. Adam Barker on the first lap, pulling out to a bit of a lead, 1.2 seconds over Dolling. Harry Volsmir is on pit road early. Don't know why Harry is in, but he is on pit road. Mike Dolling sits in second, Simon Zierk in third, David Flanagan in fourth. McCready in fifth. Giancarlo is reeling in the top five, and Nick Sorensen is reeling him in. Rudolph Gunther, Ronnie Wimberly back behind, trying to reel in the top seven. Adam Barker a little bit of a breakaway, but from second on back, they are practically nose to tail. As Ronnie Wimberly has gone off track. Oh, Ronnie just a little too much throttle off the turn. He goes off into the grass, but manages to recover. Nick Sorensen has had an off track. Nick clipping too much of the rumble strips, goes wide off into the dirt. Rudolph Gunther managing to get back by him. Sorensen said he did say between the races that he has to make up a lot of ground and needs good finishes here to be in contention for this title. A lot of ground to make up, but remember, race 2 does require a fuel stop. We have seen races and indeed championships won or lost in the second races with the pit stops. Simon Zierk just set the fastest lap of the race so far in third place. But they all have to get around the Minister of Defense, Mike Dolan. And it's worth mentioning, oh, Mike is wide. Manages to hold on to it, but that got a little sketchy. He lost some momentum, and now Simon Zierk is right there looking for a move. Simon trying to build a run here. This battle from second on back is going to come down to who makes the least mistakes. Adam Barker's lead continuing to grow on that lap. Now 1.77. Mike Dolling in second, still trying to reel him in. Simon Zierk unable to get by Dolling thus far. Flanagan all over the back bumper in fourth place. Rudolph Gunther has had a problem back behind. Rudolph in the Porsche. Oh, clips too much. Same thing we saw in race one multiple times. Getting into that section too hard onto the turtles. Ronnie has a problem and goes off track getting around it, but manages to hold on to it. Harry Volsmir is back out on track, and last time by had the fastest lap. Still have no earthly idea why Harry stopped on pit road for on the first lap. Meanwhile, Mike Dolling in second place is starting to reel in Adam Barker. The gap now 1.5 seconds. Simon Zierk, David Flanagan. Can Flanagan get a run here? He's got to move. He's to the inside. Side by side through the first two turns, and oh, Simon manages to hold on to third. Flanagan, the back end, just barely stepping out. McCready and Giancarlo right behind in 5th and 6th place. Nick Sorensen had the incident early, drops back, but has started making his way forward. Now 5.25 seconds behind. Still a lot of time left for Sorensen to make up ground, and the way they're battling from second on back, now third on back, is definitely going to be to the benefit of Nick Sorensen. Meanwhile, Mike Dolling in second place has pulled away just a little bit as he tries to reel in Adam Barker. But last time by, Adam Barker set the fastest lap of the morning thus far. Flanagan now looking for a pass on Simon Zierk again. Breaks early, tries to get the run out of the turn. A little bit of a bobble, but Flanagan to the inside. The BMW has the power advantage here on the straight. Flanagan still side by side. He gets a nose ahead as they head toward the first turn. Simon still side by side. Now Simon has the inside. Flanagan pushes it. He's going to clear and open the door. Giancarlo's coming through. Giancarlo can't keep it to the inside and drifts back into 5th. David Flanagan now up into 3rd, but that allowed Mike Dolling and Adam Barker to pull away. Dolling now 4.5 seconds ahead of that battle and closing the gap on Adam Barker. McCready still lurking in 6th, and Sorensen, who was 5.25 seconds behind a lap ago, is now 2.9 seconds behind. He has cut the gap almost in half while they battle ahead. Speaking of cutting the gap in half, Mike Dolling goes right to the back bumper on Adam Barker. Oh, Dolling looks to the inside, outbrakes him. Adam crosses back over. And Adam pulls back into the lead, but Dolling is not done yet. What a move through the final section. Let's take another look at that one. Dolling sends it down into the penultimate corner, outbrakes Adam into it, but goes wide. Adam able to cross back over to the inside and pull back up into the lead. Mike Dolling, meanwhile, while we were looking at the replay, got back by Adam Barker. Same pass we saw a moment ago. Let's fast forward to Mike Dolling going to the lead here. Down into that first chicane. Adam just goes a bit wide and gets the turtles. Dolling quickly and easily takes the position. Mike Dolling has the lead. Adam Barker now in 2nd. Meanwhile, while they fought it out, that allowed David Flanagan, Simon Zierk, Giancarlo, and McCready to catch up, and Nick Sorensen has caught up. Things really about to heat up as the top 7 drivers are about 6.5 seconds between all of them. And under 4 seconds between 2nd place and 6th place. Giancarlo is coming in for fuel. Giancarlo pitting 13 minutes in. He can go the distance from here in fuel. So fuel strategy is beginning to play out. Likely Giancarlo trying to give himself some clean track and see if he can make up some time with clean air without having to battle. Mike Dolling, meanwhile, has extended his lead to 1.8 seconds over Adam Barker, and now Adam has David Flanagan right on the bumper. Simon Zierk back in 4th, McCready in 5th, and Nick Sorensen is the first driver to break the 144 marker. Last time by 143.98. The fastest lap so far this morning as Sorensen trying to make up for the earlier incident. Adam Barker, David Flanagan continuing to battle it out. Simon Zierk in 4th, McCready in 5th. Giancarlo has completed his pit stop. Giancarlo now 36 seconds out of the lead. How much we have seen him make comebacks from even further back, and all of these drivers still have to pit. Giancarlo, the only driver to have completed his pit stop. A bit surprised to have seen that early pit stop. David Flanagan just set the fastest lap by a lot, almost 0.2 of a second faster than the lap by McCready and Sorensen. Flanagan turned a 1:43.81 last time by. Lap times definitely coming down as fuel burns off. Mike Dolling's lead currently 1.7 seconds over Adam. Flanagan in third. Simon Zierk now in fourth. McCready in fifth. Sorensen in sixth. Rudolph Gunther up to seventh now. Ronnie Wimberly is now up to eighth. Giancarlo after his pit stop in ninth place. Harry Volsmir, that lap one pit stop, we have no idea why he did that. Currently in 10th, and Nicole Kriesel in 11th. Giancarlo, after his pit stop, was almost 37 seconds behind. He's already made up 1.5 seconds. The clean track definitely to his benefit. McCready is on pit road for his fuel stop. Adam Barker and David Flanagan now starting to reel in. Mike Dolling just a little bit. McCready headed off pit road as Giancarlo goes by. Moving Giancarlo now up into 7th place. Giancarlo just set the fastest lap as well, 1:43.47. There you see the best laps of all the drivers. Oh, Giancarlo has started blinking. It'll be interesting to see how the times drop throughout this race. Mike Dolling gets a little too much of the curbing. The back end gets loose on him. With some of the top 5 drivers in that pack having gone to pit road, the field's starting to break up just a little bit. Nick Sorensen now up to 5th place. He is reeling in. Simon Zierk. McCready has had a... No, I'm sorry. McCready had his issue right before he went to pit road. This might explain his pit strategy. Little too deep into the turn there. Goes off in the gravel. A little bit of rally driving, but he gets it back on pit road. Ronnie Wimberly has had an issue back behind. Ronnie, same type of thing we saw from McCready. Giving Giancarlo a position. Rudolph Gunther has had a problem as well. Rudolph just gets into the turn too deep, as we've seen multiple times. This time, though, Rudolph just cuts it across to avoid the turtles and a bigger problem. Adam Barker and David Flanagan have now cut into Dolling's lead. Adam less than a second behind. Meanwhile, Giancarlo continues to set blistering laps out there. 1:43.34. and gaining ground on Rudolf Gunther at the moment. Adam Barker now 0.7 of a second behind, picking up a little bit of the slipstream on the straightaway here. Flanagan still with him. Ronnie Wimberly and Nicole Kriesel are both on pit road. Nicole has completed her stop. She's on her way back out. Ronnie is headed for his pit box. At the halfway point, we have already had several drivers hit pit road. As we mentioned, Harry made that pit stop at the end of lap 1. We have no idea why. I do not think it would be enough. After one lap would be enough fuel to go the distance, but you never know. Mike Dolling continues to lead. Adam Barker in second. David Flanagan in third. The top three all within a second. Simon Zierk in fourth and Nick Sorensen in fifth. They are nose to tail now. What a comeback this has been for Sorensen. Rudolf Gunther sitting in sixth. Giancarlo in seventh. McCready in eighth. Ronnie Wimberly is still on pit road, an extended stop, and Rudolf Gunther is headed to pit road. And now we see just how much time Giancarlo has made up as he goes to sixth place. Flanagan looking for a move on Adam Barker for second. They are door banging down the straight. Not something you see very often in GT3 racing. These two just bumping their doors just a little bit. Adam Barker now looks for a move back to the outside. Can't get set up, but they have got to be careful. Nick Sorensen and Simon Zierk are gaining ground. Meanwhile, Mike Dolling is opening up a bit of a gap. Flanagan now into second place. Barker in third. Barker is in, Sorensen is in, Zierk is in. And now we see if the short pit by Giancarlo is gonna pay off. Meanwhile, Dolling and Flanagan staying out. Flanagan reeling in Mike Dolling. But Flanagan has never had to deal with and try and get around the Minister of Defense, Mike Dolling. Giancarlo, all three drivers are headed off pit road, but I think Giancarlo is getting past them all. Giancarlo now goes to third, the top two, the only ones to have not been to pit road. David Flanagan continuing to reel in Mike Dolling. Average time on pit road for their fuel stops has been 45 seconds. An 11 to 12 second stop for most drivers. Right now, Giancarlo is only 32 seconds behind the leader. Simon Zierk came off pit road in fourth. Adam Barker in fifth. Nick Sorensen in sixth. McCready seventh. David Flanagan is right there behind Michael Dolling, almost to the bumper. The BMW has the power advantage. The Ferrari has the handling advantage. Flanagan in the slipstream. Nicole Kriesel has had a problem back behind. Nicole now in 10th place. Harry Volsmere is back on pit road. He did not get enough fuel on that lap 1 stop. Flanagan and Dolling nose to tail. Giancarlo sitting back in third, 31.9 seconds back. Simon Zierk in fourth. Adam Barker in fifth, right on Zierk's back bumper. This is where we've seen Flanagan make a lot of moves this morning. Can he do it? He looks to the outside. Dolling moves, sets up into the turn, and shuts the door. Giancarlo still reeling him in. Meanwhile, Simon Zierk and Adam Barker nose to tail, and Sorensen reeling them in. McCready appears to have been the biggest loser on pit road. He lost a lot of time. He is now in 7th, 6.4 seconds back. Flanagan still looking for a pass for the lead. Adam Barker looking for a pass on Simon Zierk. McCready trying to reel them all in after a podium finish in race 1. Dolling and Flanagan still have to make their pit stop. Do we see either one come in this time? No. Flanagan looks to the outside into the first chicane. Dolling outbrakes him. But Mike has a little bobble off the turn, keeps his foot in it. Mike grabbing a lot of curb there, and now David looks to the outside again, can't get there. Simon Zierk in fourth. Adam Barker currently running in fifth, still in his tire tracks. Sorensen is getting closer. Nick finished second in race 1, lost some ground early in the race, in race 2. Trying to make it up, has done an amazing job making up the ground he lost. Mike Dolling has crashed. The leader has crashed. Take another look at, oh! Dolan got into the back bumper, and it looks like he just called it quits. Mike Dolan has towed it to pit road. David Flanagan is on pit road in the lead. Giancarlo now in second. 10 minutes remain in this race. Giancarlo may be about to take the lead. Flanagan is in his pit stall as Giancarlo comes down the front stretch. He comes past them all. Giancarlo now has the lead. David Flanagan is rolling off pit road now. Simon Zierk, Adam Barker, Nick Sorensen coming by as well. Flanagan comes off pit road in fifth. McCready in sixth is now reeling in the top five. Rudolph Gunther back in seventh. Harry Volsmir in eighth. Nicole Kriesel now up to ninth. Mike Dolling and Ronnie Wimberly both on pit road. Giancarlo won the first race and had to start race 2 from 7th place. Was the first driver to come to pit road for his fuel stop. Used the clean air to make up a ton of ground. And now, after the completion of pit stops, Giancarlo has a 10-second lead over Simon Zierk in second. Adam Barker sitting in third, Nick Sorensen in fourth. These three gonna be going at it for the next 8 minutes. Simon Zierk came into the morning fourth in points, with Yannick Gunther not in the race and Mike Dolling out of race 2 early. Could be a big morning for Simon. Adam Barker also stands to make up a lot of ground here. Flanagan back in fifth, just under 5 seconds behind the battle ahead and reeling them in. Does he have enough time to make up the ground though? As we saw with Giancarlo, some clean air definitely beneficial. Flanagan has pulled away from McMullet in 6th. Rudolph Gunther back in 7th, clean track, front and back. Harry Volsmir in 8th, 10 seconds behind Rudolph. Harry would be up battling in the top 5 right now if not for that weird lap 1 stop. Nicole Kriesel in 9th. Mike Dolling has officially retired from the race, and Ronnie Wimberly in 11th, still on pit road. Adam Barker has crashed. Sorensen right behind him as they come into the second to last turn. Adam loses the back end. Sorensen narrowly avoids it, but Adam goes around and drops back to 5th place. Meanwhile, Sorensen now up into 3rd. David Flanagan down to 4th. And Flanagan makes up a lot of ground on Sorensen during that incident. Now only 2.5 seconds back. Adam Barker now back in 5th, has to contend with mullet power. Rudolph Gunther back in 7th, excuse me. Rudolph is on pit road. Harry Volsmir is on the move. Harry now moving up into 7th. And while all the action is behind him, Giancarlo just set out here having a nice Sunday drive with an 11-second lead over Simon Zierk. Simon has now got a 1.8-second lead over Nick Sorensen. David Flanagan, the rookie, still trying to claw back up into the top 3. And Adam Barker in 5th has McCready in 6th. McCready finishing 3rd in race 1, looking for a top 5 here in race 2. When we get down to the final lap, things are gonna get interesting out here. David Flanagan, the rookie, looking for a top 3. He is still gaining ground on Sorensen. Giancarlo just set the fastest lap of the race. 1:43.20. He's at a point he doesn't even have to push it. He's got an 11.5-second lead. Simon Zierk in 2nd. Nick Sorensen now in 3rd. Nick has been faster every lap and is reeling in Simon. David Flanagan back in 4th, also reeling in Simon and Sorensen. Adam Barker currently runs in 5th, McCready in 6th. McCready starting to look for a pass. Outbreaks him into the turn. Rudolph Gunther back in 8th. Terry Volsmere in 7th. Giancarlo, meanwhile, coming around, should get 1 to go when he crosses the start-finish line next time. McCready has had a problem. Trying to run down Adam Barker. He cuts the... Oh! Was there contact? A hard lick for McMullet. Let's dial up the... And it was contact as Adam came back across the nose of McCready. McCready's car likely pretty torn up here. Let's take a look. Looks like pretty light damage. Surprisingly for a hit like that. Adam Barker is on pit road. And Giancarlo got the white flag last time by. He is going to pull it off here. McCready now up into 5th as Adam Barker hit pit road. Looks like Adam just drove through to give the position back. We've talked about it countless times with this group. The sportsmanship is far and away above what you see anywhere else. So shout out to Adam Barker. Made a mistake. It was an honest racing incident, but he took the time and lets McCready back by. Giancarlo coming into the final 2 turns. And here we go. Giancarlo is going to win and sweep the morning at Imola. Simon Zierk and Nick Sorensen. This is going to come down to right down to the wire. Sorensen looks to the outside. Can't get enough. Simon Zierk comes home second. Nick Sorensen comes home third. The rookie David Flanagan finishing fourth. McCready fifth. And let's talk to our top 3. Nick, I have to say, man, that was quite a comeback.
Hey, thanks, Doug. Yeah, I don't know. I put myself behind the 8 ball again, so just had to keep my head down and trying to catch up.
There for a bit, you were the first one under the 144 mark, and were the first one to get under 144, but you were definitely reeling these guys in after getting behind the 8 ball there.
Yeah, that was all I had left to do, you know. Got a bad start, a little bit unlucky with that, and then I put myself off in the dirt a couple times. Other than that, yeah, I just had to get lucky and keep my head down and try to push as hard as I could. Well, I had to get up to third for that.
Yeah, and an awesome morning. You did what you said you had to do, just consistently and consistency and getting the job done. Another podium finish.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Doug.
Nick Sorensen comes home in third. Simon Zierk comes home in second. Simon, that was an awesome run, and your strategy worked out perfectly.
Yeah, good race. I have to thank my pit crew for doing the calculations right and then getting the seconds over Adam and could then finish in a P2. That's really great. Thank you for my pit crew.
Well, your pit crew definitely did an awesome job, but man, you were extremely fast this morning.
Oh yeah, it took me some time to get used to the track. Yesterday, the 12 hours of Sebring, and now with just our practice session, getting used to the new track. It was hard in the beginning, but in the end, something clicked for me, and so I could get some constant laps in.
Well, man, one of the most consistent drivers we've ever seen. A great job. Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you.
And finally, our winner, he sweeps the morning. Giancarlo, you sweep the morning. Congratulations, buddy.
Thanks, Doug. It was fun. I realized early on when I got tucked behind Eric's rear wing and he was still pulling away from me that the undercut, the massive undercut, was really the only option to get a good result. So I had to go for it.
Well, and once you got out there and after your pit stop, when you had a lot of clean track, you were just pretty much checking out. Your laps were faster than everybody else, and you just continued to reel them in to the point once they completed their stops, you already had a 10-second lead.
Yeah, I mean, that was the plan in the first race. I realized I had the open air pace, and it's so hard to pass here, and the Lambo doesn't have any straight line speed, so that's had to go for it, and thankful that it worked out.
Well, last week you missed the second race, but this week you come in and pull off the sweep. Definitely an awesome start to your season.
Appreciate it, Doug. Here's to many more races, many more good races.
Hopefully so. Congrats, buddy.
Thank you.
Giancarlo sweeps the morning at Imola. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. BRR is off this week. Good morning, Aaron. BRR is off this evening, but who knows? We might even hop in the car tonight. Time will tell. Make sure you're following on Twitch and Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Thank you guys so much. What a morning of racing at Imola. We'll see you later.